Hi, so my name is Rebecca Harvey, and I did my research project on offshore wind farms. So, throughout the semester, I've been doing research, and I first want to go over what an offshore wind farm is. For those who do not know, offshore wind farms are a form of renewable energy, and they generate from offshore winds that are stronger and more consistent than those winds that are on land. So, offshore winds they come from the land to the sea and produce a stronger, more consistent breeze. So, wind turbines are what produce the energy. They're blades that continuously spin when wind is run through them. They can be installed as deep as 160 feet into the ocean. There are some that are floating devices, so once they hit the limit of the 160 feet, they use the floating turbines, but they're not as stable as the ones that are put into the ocean floor. They also place these wind turbines far enough out to sea so they do not disturb any people. So they place them about 26 miles offshore. So states in the United States that are using the wind turbines, offshore wind turbines right now are Delaware, Massachusetts, North Carolina, New Jersey, Virginia, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Maryland, Florida, and New York. So these are just some that are using them currently in the United States. I know there are some in like European countries that are using them. So that is fairly good. We got these ideas from European countries, so to be able to have so many states right now that are using them is very beneficial to us. So offshore wind turbines are 2.6 times more expensive than wind turbines that are on onshore, and they usually cost around $6,230 per kilowatt of energy that the wind turbine is producing. Some benefits of offshore wind farms are they create a more constant form of energy due to the constant breeze. They also cause less disturbance to people due to them being very far offshore. And they protect marine ecosystems because no one is allowed to go near the turbines, so the animals around those areas do not get disturbed. Some disadvantages of offshore wind farms are that the wind turbines are very hard to build and repair. It's also harder to get out to them because you'll have to use a boat to get out to them. But the benefits in the long run are more beneficial than not having them. They also have a higher chance of getting damages due to storm winds and waves, and during hurricane season, the turbines can get broken because of the stronger winds. And they are also more expensive than regular winds. Some pros is that they're very safe to water and marine life ecosystems because there's little disturbance to them. They require few natural resources such as wind blowing the blades. It doesn't take a lot for that to happen, whereas other things it might take more. They are very efficient. Once they are up and running, all they need is to be checked for maintenance, and there is little to no noise disturbance because they are so far offshore. So, why are offshore wind farms so beneficial in North America? They're very beneficial in North America because right now we're going through a lot of climate change, and it's due to the many air pollutants that we have. So, once we have our carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, particulate matters that are greater than 2.5, and sulfur dioxide getting into the air due to the current energy sources that we are using, which are coal, oil, gas, fire, and sometimes fossil fuels. These are producing a higher air pollutant volume than renewable energies are forming. So, in the overall long run, I've done research in other classes. It has shown that coal produces more than 50% of carbon emissions that are being produced throughout the United States, and renewable energy is causing less than 15% of that. So, renewable energy sources are also never going to run out, whereas coals, oils, gases are going to run out eventually. As we can see right now during this time, it's hard for us to get gas because we're going, we're having to go get it from different sources because ours is currently not in use, and it's harder for people. Whereas if we had solar cars right now that were running on solar energy or another form of energy, we'd not be having this problem of not being able to get to work or these other issues. So, switching to renewable energy resources such as offshore wind farms will overall benefit us in the long run. This is the poster that I made for PERC. As you can see, I put a little map over there of the United States. It shows wind speeds, which would be very beneficial to areas that do not have offshore wind farms right now. So like in areas right now we can see with stronger winds, those areas already do have some wind turbines, but you can see areas down here like in Florida, they don't have very strong winds, so it might not be very beneficial to put wind turbines there. But in the overall long run, why not do it? Because a little breeze is better than no breeze. And I also put why we should use offshore wind farms in there. There was also everything that I included in the slideshow I have put into this poster. I've done a lot more research outside of class. I have looked at all renewable energies. I've written a paper on them, and I have overall found that the health benefits and the environmental impacts of renewable energy are very beneficial, and they're causing less overall health issues and environmental issues. These are the references I use, and I hope you guys enjoyed.